Alright, hey guys, sorry there hasn't been an upload for a while. I meant to start this series back in like January, but uh, a lot of different things. Got copiously addicted to playing Cyberpunk, picked up guitar, been learning After Effects, and just in general dealing with school. So I didn't really have a ton of time to put together one of these videos, but now that the semester's over, summer's here, hopefully I'll be able to make more of these. Um, anyway, the format of this new series that I'm going to be having, uh, I'm kind of just going to call it albums I liked recently. Maybe I'll come up with something more catchy by the time I upload the video, but it's going to be kind of similar to my first video, but I'm only really going to be talking about albums that I really have something to say about, mainly albums I'm going to recommend or if I have any strong thoughts about something. I'm going to try to talk about 10 or so albums per video, just so that these are a bit easier to make. And I'm not going to try to talk about multiple albums from the same artist in the same video for variety's sake, unless they're like different enough that I really have very different things to say about each of them. And also, there's a bit of a backlog. Hopefully, I'll remember to edit in all the albums I've listened to since my first video, I guess. Um, so hopefully I'll be able to put out enough of these to somewhat catch up to those. I'm probably not going to talk about every one of them, but at least the ones that I do enjoy or have something to say about. So, and I also think if I remember, by the time this comes out, I'll also probably make a playlist of maybe one or two songs from each of these albums that I think are particular standouts in case you're thinking about checking any of these out. So without further ado, let's get into it. So the first one is Maps by Billy Woods. I love the sort of jazzy instrumentals on this one from Kenny Segal. They're kind of eerie at times as well. So the concept of the record, as I understand it, is it's very inspired by Woods's travels and just a lot of just like traveling and in general. And I sort of get that the reason why I kind of got that sort of eerie vibe from it was to sort of portray that feeling of unfamiliarity or uncomfortableness of being somewhere where you're not supposed to or not used to be, I mean. And the lyrical content of the album is a lot about travel, as I said before, so there's a lot of lines about foods, places, planes, and I think in general it's a pretty chill album. So go check it out. Then Super Techmo Bow by Boldy James and the Alchemist. This is definitely my favorite project, or scratch that, second favorite project by the Alchemist that I've listened to. I think I prefer Haram, but this is definitely my favorite Boldy James project, though. It's super chill, great punchlines and flows, great production from the Alchemist. You know, as always, it's just bars from start to finish with no fluff. Yeah, that's kind of all I really have to say about it. Just check it out. Then Hitler Wears Hermes Side A and B by Westside Gun. I was thinking about only just doing like B, but I thought I might as well just also include A as well. But both are really solid. B is probably somewhere in my top three Westside Gun albums. I like A lot as well. And one thing that I think a lot of people appreciate about Westside Gun and just Griselda in general is the beautiful boom bap beats that they usually hops on. I always like really love whenever there's some like crazy like piano sample flip on one of the beats on any of these like Westside Gun albums, and that's definitely the style of these two albums. There's definitely a couple of those, and I think part of the enjoyment also comes from the contrast between the topics and the song and the instrumental. It seemed like it would clash a little bit, like just this melodic like piano beat, and then you have like Westside Gun like cooking a brick in an air fryer or whatever. Um, and it seems like they clash, but it really doesn't. It fits in a way you wouldn't really understand unless you actually really listen to it. Undone by the Roots. This is the first Roots album I'd listened to, and I think it's probably still my favorite. Love the instrumentation. Great verse by Black Thought. Questlove great on the drums. Just an incredible album overall, and it just really just gets better with each listen for me. It Is What It Is by Thundercat. Incredible bass lines all around, really chill vibes all around, even when he's singing about Dragon Ball Durag. But honestly, the topics that he sings about just honestly kind of make the songs even better in a way. It's like just really funny hearing someone as like talented as Thundercat like, make a song like that, make a song like Dragon Ball Durag. So I just really love it, and I think I really kind of undersold it earlier, but like the bass lines on this album are really good. Like specifically, this is not one of my favorite songs off the album, but I think just specifically to point out how crazy of a bass player Thundercat is, the song "How Sway." I don't even know how many notes he picks in like a just picks every few seconds or whatever, but like he plays that really fast. And yeah, if you're into bass, if you like some more like chill stuff, or I don't know, just like I just think you should check it out probably. And then next up, Rap Music by Killer Mike. I can't believe it took me so long to listen to this album because I'm a big Run the Jewels fan. Solid beats from LP, great verse from Killer Mike. This is kind of like the project that really started it all between them. And yeah, it's still got some of their better work on there too, I think as well. And then Cheat Codes by Black Thought and Danger Mouse. When I first listened to this album, I liked it a lot, but I wasn't really like, in love with it. But over time, I really just kept coming back to it. The beats are great. Love the samples. Some amazing verses from Black Thought. And this is the first solo album of his that I'd listened to, and it's what really made me understand what a great lyricist he is. And like for the Roots albums I like listened to, like before this one, yeah, like I listened to the verses, but a lot of the time my focus was mainly on like the instrumentation, and the lyricism was mainly like the secondary thing that I paid attention to. At least until I listened to this album more and more, where I sort of like kind of gained the ear for it, where I decided to pay more attention to it. And I'm really glad I did, because that retroactively made me appreciate like Undone more, and Things Fall Apart more as well. Bandana by Freddie Gibbs and Madlib, and this album was really what made me like get Freddie Gibbs, I guess, because I'd listened to Alfredo and I thought it was fine, and what else did I listen to? I listened to another Freddie Gibbs album. I can't remember off the top of my head. I listened to the You Only Die Twice, but that was after this. There's another Freddie Gibbs album I'm not remembering right now that I also listened to before this, but I also thought it was like, okay, it's fine. But yeah, after listening to Bandana, Freddie Gibbs like really clicked for me. And yeah, I just love the beats, love the wordplay, love the flows, just really great hip hop. White Pony by Deftones. I think this is the first non-hip hop album I've talked about in this video so far. This is the first Deftones album I listened to, and I thought it was really solid. On first listen, I liked it, but I had a lot of criticisms that I mostly don't agree with anymore. Mainly about like the mixing, and just like I thought like the vocals were getting drowned out, or certain instruments were getting drowned out in other songs. But I think I just hadn't really adjusted to the band's sound at the time. Now it's probably my favorite Deftones album, or maybe my second favorite. It's got a great variety of sounds on, like songs on here. You got the more chill parts like "Changing the House of Flies," and the hype parts like "Elite" or "Passenger," and they really nail both those sounds. I did like a lot of the riffs eventually, but I think at first I didn't feel like they stacked up to other bands like Rage Against the Machine, Limp Bizkit, Slipknot, and yeah, well, I think comparatively, those three bands are more likely to have the better riff than Deftones if you just randomly picked one out of a bag from both of their like catalogs. I think I was definitely sleeping on a lot of the riffs on this album. Like Passenger has a great riff. Korea has a great riff. Elite has a great riff. Changing the House of Flies is great too. Passenger is probably my favorite song on the album, and I love the chorus that Maynard drops. And maybe I'll talk about Tool later in another one of these videos, because I do like Tool a lot now too. Because I've gone and listened to a couple of albums from them, partly because of how much I like Passenger. And then Sick by Earl Sweatshirt. Pretty cool production, flows. Earl Sweatshirt's style has really come around to me after listening to this album, and I've gone back and enjoyed some rap songs a lot more since then. I also think I needed to be in a bit more of a different headspace to really enjoy both these albums, and I think I also needed to pay a lot more attention to what Earl is saying here, not just from like a lyrical like standpoint of like, oh, he rhymed this with that, but also like, okay, this is where he's like coming from. This is like Earl's perspective. This is how he sees life. And I think just that active listening really like allowed me to appreciate like not just like as like music, but like what this is as like a body of work, as like art, you know. But yeah, specifically to this album, Tabula Rasa is incredible. I can't decide what I like more between Falling Out the Sky and Tabula Rasa. I think I prefer Falling Out the Sky just barely because of the Alchemist production. Um, but Sick, I think, kind of gives me the vibes of like a melancholy acceptance of some situations you might be in. I think I probably need to dive a lot more into specific like lyrics to really understand exactly what he's trying to get, but that's kind of just the vibe I got from some of the songs. Like, here's a line from Fire in the Hole that kind of like really expressed this sort of vibe for me as well, that I kind of got from it. The shield took a couple chinks, but it never broke. And I think he has a lot of lines like that across the album. And how I kind of interpreted that was like the kind of straightforward way, like where he's kind of like he's taken damage. He's like he's been through it, but he's gonna be fine. He's gonna like make it through. And I think that some people say some rap songs is best, but to me, this is probably his best. I think I do like. I don't know. I feel like I kind of go a little back and forth between those two. And it also just kind of depends on the headspace I'm in right now. But to me, I think I prefer the songs individually on Sick a lot more than I do individually on some rap songs. But I think maybe as like a complete album, maybe like some rap songs is like on par, or maybe like just barely more. I'm not really sure, but I feel like Sick feels more. The songs on Sick feel a lot more complete, and I feel like that's probably intentional. Probably intentional as to why the songs on some rap songs don't feel complete, like thematics wise. If I'm kind of just like rambling right now, but I hope this makes sense to whoever's listening to this. But yeah, if I'm trying to listen to like basically what I'm trying to say is if I'm trying to listen to individual songs, I think I'd rather listen to Sick, but as an album experience, I think some rap songs is either on par, maybe slightly more, but yeah. Anyway, that's all the albums I really wanted to go over in this video. Thanks for watching. Hopefully I'll see you in the next one.